Unit 3, Before the Split of the Nation of Israel. Let's look at what happens before the nation actually splits, because there's a couple important events that we have to know. And the first one comes surrounding a new person, a new character that we read about in 1 Kings 11, and that is this guy named Jeroboam. Who's Jeroboam? He is the son of one of Solomon's servants. And what happens is that he begins to gain prominence. He's a leader. And during this time, Solomon is old, and this is the time when he actually dies, and the kingdom transitions from Solomon to his son Rehoboam. So he's got the similar names. You got Jeroboam, and you got Rehoboam, who is the son of Solomon, and he now becomes the king over Israel. So what happens next? This is important. Well, Jeroboam is representing the people. He's a leader, and so he goes before Rehoboam, the son, this new king, and he has a request. His request is, can you dial it back a little bit? Can you ease the burden of taxes and of work on the people, and the people will serve you. In fact, look what it says. Jeroboam came, and all the assembly of Israel came, and they said to Rehoboam, "Your father made our yoke heavy. Now, therefore, lighten the hard service of your father and his heavy yoke on us, and we will serve you," right? Because the building of the temple was a massive project, and it was a lot of work. And so the people came and they say, "Hey, can you lighten it up?" So they put this request before him, and Rehoboam says, "Okay, I'll think about it." So he asks two different groups of people what he should do. He asks his dad's counselors first. He goes to Solomon's counselors and says, "Hey, the people have come to me and they've said, should I ease up on them?" And they say, "Yes, do it. Listen to the people. They will love you and they will follow you and serve you if you ease up on the load that your father Solomon had put on them." He says, "Okay." And then he goes and talks to his friends, those that he had grown up with, and he asks them. And they say, "No, don't ease it up. In fact, make it harder." So he's got these two groups. His father's counselors say, make it lighter. His friends say, make it harder. And who does he listen to? Well, I think we know. He rejects the older men's counsel, and he listens to his friends. And Rehoboam ends up actually increasing the work and the tax burden on the people. And look what it says. He spoke to them according to the counsel of the young men, saying this, "My father made your yoke heavy, but I will add to your yoke. My father disciplined you with whips, but I will discipline you with scorpions." So he makes this call, and he says, "I'm going to make it harder on you." And of course, this doesn't go well. The people are like, "No, thank you." And this causes a civil war. So what happens here is that now the 10 tribes of the north are now, they defect out of Israel, and they now war against Rehoboam. And now we have this split that happens. So we've got Israel, that's a whole separate nation from Judah now. Actually, Judah is now this new nation. So now we have two nations, Israel and Judah, that are now separate. And so what we want to do now is let's look at this. Let's look at what happens after the split of the nation of Israel into the north and the south, into Israel and into Judah.